This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the TPC Boston in Massachusetts. Frank, this is a really good-looking golf course.
Fun golf course too, Rich. Starts off with a relatively soft par 4, not very long, and then, of course, the fourth hole. You remember that on TV. It's a drivable par 4. 5, really, this beautiful dogleg left par 4. I think it's one of the prettiest holes on the golf course. Reminds me of Sunningdale in England. 7's a par 5. 2 good hits, you might be able to get home. Don't talk about the 9th to Phil Mickelson. Never really likes that hole at all. He's made a mess of it over the years. Good finish there at 18, but really, if you want to look at maybe a tough stretch in the back 9, 13, 14, if you make a couple of pars through there, then you've done well. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Second shot now on the way for Brandt Snedeker.
Should be safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Ooh, almost fell. Just a few inches from dropping.
Sometimes the game just isn't fair.
Getting set now over the putt. -1 and early going. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Here at the par 5 second hole, just over 540 yards, Frank.
Yeah, keep it to the left of those bunkers. You can play it as a 3-shotter if you're not too ambitious. But, well, why not sort of dangle the little hook out there and have a go at it for 2?
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how strong he is.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and that's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Can add up quickly, Frank. This already his 4th shot.
Yeah, time to knuckle down. Really wants to hit one of his better shots right now. Hazard.
Maybe wet. NASA, we have a splashdown. After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. This scorecard is quickly adding up.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Still at it, playing his 5th shot. Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. The hole's not over.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it.
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. 2-1 over par early on in this round. Hole number 3 here at TPC Boston. It is a par 3. Frank, are you happy walking off with par here?
Well, if you've birdied the first 2 holes, there's a chance here to be greedy.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just ride a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. It's at sneaky distance.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Could use this one. This is for par. Well, that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. Just a little tap in here. One over for the day. Frank, at 298 yards, the 4th is reachable for just about every professional. What might scare them off?
Well, that bunker on the left, that's really actually a chance to showcase your skills. And that's where you realize how much better professional golfers are. A good bunker play, especially on a hole like 4, and then you will get well rewarded.
This is a great place for a fan to watch, isn't it?
It is. You see so many different short shots around this green. The bunker shots from the left side, if you hit it over the back on the right, the little bump and run through the little valley in the green. Fun hole to watch.
Perfectly placed tee shot will set up an eagle opportunity, but then you see quite a few bogeys made here as well.
Yeah, if you stray a little bit, leave the ball too far short, then you have to play that pitch across the bunker. That's no fun. Oh, that's fine.
Second shot, good look at the green.
I think if we stretch the tape, Rich, we might get to 29 feet.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. So with a make, moves to even par. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, the opening at TPC Boston, you could describe it as fun, gettable. It starts to change in character here at the fifth, doesn't it?
Yeah, beautiful par four. You've got to be cognizant of exactly how far you can fly the ball, though, because there's three distinct sections of this green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, the TPC Boston really starts to show its teeth here in the fifth hole.
Yeah, beautiful hole. That green up ahead, though, there's three different sections. Obviously, the easy section is that middle one where it just pokes out to the left.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Chance to get it close here. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey at one and now another at number two has really taken him out of his game at this point. So into red figures at 1 under. All right, Frank, now to the sixth hole. It's a 465-yard par four. What are the keys?
Well, it's framed beautifully by the trees just in front of the tee, so you know exactly where you're trying to go down there. Two little bunkers on the right if you stray a little right, and if you stray a little left, you might just make it to the water.
Good contact, good result. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, long gone are the days when you putted with a simple blade. Now you look down and there's a frying pan on the end of a shaft.
Yeah, it looks like grandma's skillet these days. That's what it is. But, you know, putters are like drivers. What they've done with the technology is given you a bigger sweet spot. Even though putting is very, very precise, if you give a person a bigger sweet spot, he's going to make more putts.
Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot. Right in the fairway and 180 yards from here. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Oh, this is a huge putt. It's in.
So a tester from 4 feet. Now at -2 for the day. Frankie, just love the variety of holes here at TPC Boston. Now we get to the 7th. It's a 600-yard par 5.
It looks straight away, but the problem is if you don't hit a good tee shot, then you really have to be aware of that cross bunker. That is one place you don't want to go with your second shot. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Frank, it rolled out of the short grass and into the white sand, so this is third shot.
Yeah, a lot of the professionals would rather be in the sand than the thick rough. You can control the spin much better out of fairway bunker than you can the rough.
Frank not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
You're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. And getting ready for the putt. Still playing even for the day after the par. Shouldn't be a problem here. And with that putt, he moves to 3 under. Now to the par 3 8th, and Frank, what's the best way to go here?
Hit your best, and then you're looking at making 2.
Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. makes the green in regulation. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Frank, I don't know about you, but I love a good hot dog and a soda at the turn. Of course, it tastes a lot better after you've made par. How difficult is that proposition here at the ninth?
Well, if you stray with your tee shot here, you'll be making hamburgers, that's for sure.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, golf so often is a game of avoiding something. What do you want to stay away from here at the ninth?
You have to avoid that little pot bunker just short of this green. If the pin's at the back, it's fine. You can fly the ball into the middle of the green. But if the pin's on the front, just make sure you carry that little bunker.
In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Second shot, good look at the green. So the second of the par four goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, I have to say I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
I agree. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the round plays out.
Might go deep here in the red numbers. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. A great roll right there. Just a pure stroke right in the heart. Brandt for his par. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We're back on a beautiful fall day here at the TPC Boston, getting set to kick off the action here on the back nine. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Officials are calling that one around 310 yards. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Headed for the bunker? That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through. Even par, currently.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, here at the 11th, that is a massive bunker guarding the front right side of this green.
And every now and again, a tee shot plugs in there, making that second shot just absolutely horrible. Safely on deck.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. Frank, chip shot here from just on the fringe. You like to hit this the way you would a putt?
Yeah, I normally take a club that's going to land just on the flat surface of the green, then run from there. Often people take too much loft.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Do that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, he just can't seem to put it together today.
Yeah, really, you've got to go back to that double bogey, Rich, because ever since then, it's been like a different player. And that's one thing that you have to get over, experience-wise. Somehow you've got to let that go, but it is easier to say and harder to do. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough.
Oh, it's fine.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, or the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it. Now it's at sneaky distance.
Continues to putt beautifully. For the par. Now at -2 for the day. Frank, par 4 13. Just swing away with that big stick with the driver?
Big advantage if you've got another 10 or 15 yards left in the bag here. If you can carry that left side, you certainly shorten this hole up. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah. In the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Second shot. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nice par to remain at 2 under. This is a birdie try for Snedeker. And with that putt, he moves to 3 under. Frank, at the 14th down, anytime you get a par 4 that is almost 500 yards, it gets your attention.
It does play downhill, though, so you don't have to smash away here. It's better if you can get something moving a little right to left. Then it will take the natural slope. You get a little more yardage out of it that way.
In the thick stuff.
Thick. It's brutal out there.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Settles in over the putt. Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. 8-foot putt here. And with that, he'll go to 3 under. Now at the par 4 15th, what do you think of this hole, Frank?
I love the strategy involved here. It's not just necessarily a driver off the tee. Smart play often comes on top here because it's a second shot hole.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. And from the fairway for his second shot here. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Flagstick 150 yards away. See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt.
Oh, good roll, good putt.
These putts keep the round together. Four under on the day. Frank, here at the 16th, you really see this sort of New England character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of two-tiered green. And it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hans and Faxon have done to the golf course. This is like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
On the way. Oh, yeah, go ahead and fill it up. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie And what a day it's been. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into two sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Shouldn't be a problem here. 6 under par now. Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston, for whatever reason, generates quite a bit of buzz, doesn't it?
It does. The longer hitters, obviously, they lick their chops. They're having a chance to make this green in two. But if you find one of the fairway bunkers, the addition of that pot bunker for the layup, that just makes that decision that much more difficult.
He's going to have to find something, Frank, other than the rough.
Yeah, there's hitting it right and there's hitting it left, but when you've got to go out of both barrels, the game becomes hard. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Lucky devil. That was going in the bunker all the way.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. Frank, you've just hit one out of bounds. What's the way to approach this next shot?
Try and get the steam out of your ears for a start.
Now, this will be counted as the fourth shot after going OB on that previous shot. Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. In the green side bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Finish the round with a 67. that's a birdie. Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.